Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. Just came in from Sephora. I am so excited to review this for you guys. As soon as I saw promo images for this palette, I instantly thought of the Anastasia Beverly Hills collab with Makeup by Mario that they did, which I do have. I know a lot of people have wanted this particular palette to come back. Never has, but this is honestly the closest thing that I've personally seen to that palette. Still by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's really, really stunning. It's even more stunning in person. When I look at this palette, these are the type of colors that I personally think Bridgerton. This just looks like royalty and elegance. Everything about that show I see in this palette is just stunning. With Mario also, I think elegance. This is what the Master Palette by Mario looks like from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a very old palette. I wanted to just compare the two color stories for you. So they do have those metallic greens and elements about it that just is very similar. I also thought of a more muted, sultry palette that it could potentially be. It has that really beautiful pop in it. And then the Nouveau has that shade Wisteria. Which brings me to talk specifically about this palette and the shades. Wisteria, along with Metro and Paloma, are actually pressed pigments in this palette, which are not eye safe. Granted, a lot of times you see pressed pigments. I still will use them on the eyes, but just to note, technically you're not supposed to be doing that. And they say that on this palette. So it's an eyeshadow palette plus pressed pigments, which is always a little bit confusing to me when brands do these pressed pigments that are in eyeshadow palettes and you can't use them on your eyes. So the average person might not know that, and I always like to disclaim that prior to using those sort of shades on my eyes. We have 12 shades in total, mattes and metallics. There is a duochrome in the shade Peacock, which actually has this bluish green brown with pink reflex in it. It's really, really pretty. This retails for $72 Canadian. Cannot wait to use this on my eyes. I absolutely love the layout, the color story. The outer packaging too is just really stunning. Looks like a clutch. Has this gold bar here, which looks like it could clasp it. It's just a really beautiful color story and palette. And this is the first time I've really been excited for an Anastasia Beverly Hills release for quite some time for me personally. So this really caught my eye. Cannot wait to put it on my eyes. And thank you guys so much for clicking on this video to check out my review. If you have not already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos. Let's go ahead and begin this review. We're already begun, but the tutorial portion of this. Anything already on my face, brushes used, will be linked down below as always. And I have no idea where I'm gonna take this look. All of the colors in this palette speak to me. Every single shade. With pressed pigments, I don't like to use my white hair brushes. So I'm going to go in with Wisteria in the crease. And that's because they can stain the bristles. You can actually see some of my brushes right now stained because I forget this from time to time. That's one of my Smith brushes, stained. Like most Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, when you press your brush in lightly, there is a lot of kick up, very soft, lots of pigment. The shade I feel like is a little bit clingy in terms of its pigmentation. I'm gonna try and build it up, but it does look darker where I placed the brush down. I'm just gonna kind of make it as even as I possibly can. After laying it, the blend seems really effortless. I don't notice any of those clinging like I did initially. Brought it up pretty high. I might clean up underneath my brow, but we're starting off with that purple. I knew I wanted to use it in some aspect just because it stands out in this palette. And I love how it plays with the greens and colors that I would just not normally think to pair that kind of purple lavender with. Next, I'm going to take the shade Liberty and pack that on the inner and outer corner. Again, still that kick up in the pan. I'm actually not getting too much fallout. It is sticking really nicely to the lid, and I did set my concealer down with powder prior to eyeshadow application. These aren't colors I'd normally pair together, but challenging myself to do something different. This matte is super smooth. There's a little bit of a sheen in the Wisteria shade, Definitely not a full-on matte. Almost a natural finish, I guess. Natural satin. But this green is going on so beautifully. I would just wear this color all over my eye and blend it out. It's one of those one and done eyeshadow colors for me. It's that pretty. I'm just gonna start to blend this out. And this is a clean Smith 235 brush. While blending, I'm actually gonna take some of the shade Floor and also put that in the crease lower than the shade Wisteria. I haven't used Anastasia eyeshadows in a long time and I forgot how much I actually really like them. I know some people don't like the formula that Anastasia does, but I really love how easy they blend. For the pop of color, I'm gonna take the shade Belle, just using my finger, popping that on the center. Then just going back in with that shade Liberty and deepening up the inner and outer corners. Just making sure everything is a seamless look and blend. And then taking a little bit of Paloma, I'm just going to clean up underneath the brow. And since Paloma is for face and body, not technically the eye area, I'm gonna just clean up and highlight with this shade. I like a matte highlight. And this says it has a little bit of sparkle in it. Perfect nose highlight. So those are the eyes. Currently, I'm going to jump off camera, finish them off, come back and add a little bit more eyeshadow to finish off the lower lash line if I feel like it needs it, and we'll complete this look. I'm back. This is the completed look using the Nouveau palette. Just put a little bit of lavender in my waterline, completed my lower lashes with some mascara, popped on some lashes. I'll have everything listed down below that I used as always, and I'm just really impressed with the color story. Always love the shadows from Anastasia myself. I'm really happy with this release, and I love how this complements and kind of compares to the Master by Mario palette, which I've been wanting to release for a while. I actually like this color story better, and I love the pop of purple in this palette mixed with the greens. I think it's really unique and beautiful, and something I wouldn't normally pair together. I usually wear those two tones separately, but this is definitely different and unique for my personal collection, which is saying a lot. So I do really love this, highly recommend, and we'll definitely continue to play around with it more to come up with some more looks for you guys. Maybe use this in another trying new makeup in the future, depending on if there's more shadow releases. But if you know any other palettes that this compares to, definitely let us know in the comment section below. Just out of my collection personally, these were the ones that stood out to me to compare to the Anastasia Beverly Hills collection, but I could have missed something. Would love to know what you guys think of this new palette. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for spending some time with me today. I know this was a super short tutorial and review of this palette, but I hope it helps you out, maybe decide if this is something that you want to pick up. So thank you again. If you have not already, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel if you're new or have not already. Hit the red subscribe button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.